For more on this, let's bring in Republican Congressman Darrell Issa of California, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, welcome.
Thank you. Straighten the tie there.
This appeals court judge says that President Trump's tariffs exceed his authority. Undoubtedly, this will end up at the United States Supreme Court. How do you react to this latest news?
Well, thanks for having me on. And let's nuance this for a moment. They may or may not rule on behalf of the president as to a particular statute. But when it comes to the president using his national security authority to protect America for many things, including, for example, all the rare earth minerals coming only from China and that being used as a weapon and so on, he has used his tariffs as part of a national defense strategy to make America strong. That is so clearly within the president's authority. And quite frankly, it's something where Congress did a poor job. The CHIPS Act tried to throw money at onshoring capability, but did little or nothing actually to put in line more than 80 items that we cannot live without and we cannot get from any place other than China. So the president is doing exactly what he needs to do as the commander-in-chief in every way, shape, or form. And whether this tool is exactly the right tool isn't the question. The question is, would the American people in any way, shape, or form want to go back to a time in which we're living under the thumb of a China that every day gets stronger as every day we get weaker and more dependent?
It is clear President Trump sees these tariffs as an opportunity to cut a better deal with allies and adversaries, trying to level the playing field. Does this undercut his ability to negotiate with foreign partners?
No, just the opposite. The president has made it clear that the primary goal is reciprocal fairness. And he's done a number of deals, some with small countries, some with fairly large, including Britain. And in every case, at the end of it all, the two parties have walked away realizing that they have a sustainable reciprocal relationship. But he's also made points, for example, with India, who is a bad actor when it comes to buying oil that, in fact, is fueling people being killed in Ukraine every day. So the president is using these tools in two ways, and we have to support him because what he's doing is essential to American security.
We know the markets and investors do not like uncertainty. Do you worry that this court ruling could hurt the markets when they reopen next week?
Well, you're sure right on that. The fact is that we're heading towards certainty every day. The president is closing these deals and giving the market a direct path to do business. If the court turns this upside down, we're going to have to do a reset. It means weeks or months or even a year before we get back where we are today. We can't go backwards. We shouldn't go backwards. It's very clear the court should look and recognize that although the president has a number of things he's accomplishing, the key one is he's making America secure and self-reliant, and he has to do that for national defense. You only have to look at the aggressive behavior by our adversaries, including China and Russia, to realize that we're at the last possible moment to do what he's doing, and he's got to be allowed to do it. This president is doing what no other president would do, but many should have done for decades before this.
Congress passed a huge portion of the Trump legislative agenda in the big, beautiful bill. I'm curious how it's playing back home in your district, considering it's likely to be a central issue in next year's midterm elections.
This bill is playing very well in California. The combination of recognizing that the SALT deduction for those not necessarily making the largest incomes, but large enough to have been adversely affected was taken care of. But a host of other things were done. But most importantly, what the president did is he kept my constituents' taxes from going up. He kept businesses from having to deal with a massive tax increase. A tax increase, by the way, would be far greater than any tariff.
Do you find that people like it more when they get to know what's in it, considering it's such a huge piece of legislation?
Well, if you're looking for something to like in a bill, you'll find it. If you're looking for something to dislike, you'll probably find it. But in the case of this, on balance, my constituents are very, very pleased. They're particularly pleased with the certainty that the tax advantages that they've seen that are helping America be competitive, that quite frankly got us through 4 years that were pretty bad under Joe Biden. That tax and by the way, the tariffs, neither one of which were changed during Biden, was one of the reasons that we didn't have a terrible recession under a lackluster administration. So yes, they're happy, but candidly, they're asking me about the next step. They're asking about the next agenda, and they want to see the rest of the president's agenda. And that's where we're going back in just a couple of days to go to work on.
Congressman Darrell Issa of the great state of California, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Click here to subscribe to the YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.